Alright. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to what is quite possibly the 5th volume of my Homestuck comic reading. Where today I'm going to be going further into this webcomic after we got to see how Rose deals with her mother, we got to see John being a badass, and we were unfortunately introduced to Dave, I believe, at the end of the last comic. Were we? We were introduced to him at some point in the last video. Anyway. Gotta say, Dave isn't as cool as he lets himself off to be, and from what I've seen so far, his living conditions are actually pretty horrible. I feel a bit bad for Dave. That's it. Because in the animation, they made him seem like such an awful person. Smug, way too full of himself, and kind of an abusive friend. But the way he's depicted in the comic, he's actually kind of a nicer person than the animation let on. So hopefully we get to see a bit more about what's up with him in this video. Let's get right into it, shall we? Rose, hurry and activate the generator. Oh, this is depressing. You fire up the generator and drag a cord into the mausoleum. It, of course, would be foolish to run the generator inside a confined space. Generator safety is everyone's business. Defile tomb. Sorry, Jaspers. I have to make space for the laptop. Besides, your final resting place is already a mockery. You should have decomposed years ago under a bed of petunias like a normal cat, not given to a taxidermist and fitted with a tiny custom-tailored suit, and then stuffed in a coffin built for infants. The mother did what? Plug in your laptop. Okay. You plug in your laptop and connect to the internet signal again. Everything predictably falls out of your Silodex, but you're not about to get bent out of shape about it. You have bigger fish to fry. Looks like Dave noticed you're back online. He pesters you like clockwork. And there's John. What on earth is he up to now? The door, John! Look at the door! You're right. Didn't Rose yank the door off its hinges and prop it on your bed? Someone or something has put it back and left it slightly ajar. Incredibly alarming. Investigate. What is this? What this is so outrageous. Okay. Pester John. Oh, there you are. John said your house was burning down. Are you on fire yet, or what? Okay. No, for now I have retired to the safety of a smaller building, which is much closer to the forest fire threatening my residence. Oh, well, that's a relief. John told me to get the game to help get you out of there. I'm working on that now. Working on it? Yeah, my bro's copy. Long story. Hey, don't tell John this, but I think he might have been right about the puppets. They're sort of starting to freak me out a little. You're referring to your brother's collection. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool and all. The semi-ironic puppet thing or whatever, or semi-ironic. Man, I don't even know. I'm just starting to think about some of this shit is going a little far, and it's kind of fucked up. I've seen his websites. I like them. Yeah, well, you would. Oh man, I wish little Cal wouldn't look at me like that with those dead eyes. Jesus. Sometimes I dream that he's real and he's talking to me, and I wake up in a cold sweat and basically flip the fuck out. Interesting. Oh god, why did I just tell you my dream? You're going to have a field day with that. I'm currently scrawling notes furiously into one of the many psychoanalysis journals I maintain for you. Published papers forthcoming. Because, it's not like either of us have anything better to do at the moment than to evaluate each other's radically debilitating pathologies. Yeah, I'm gonna get moving. Oh, have you heard from John? He's not answering me. He won't answer me either, but I am watching him. I suspect he is preoccupied with the fact that he just had a bucket of water dumped on his head by the ghost of his dead grandmother, who also happens to be dressed like a clown. All right, I'm out. Later. Interrogate this mad woman. Nana? Yes, dear. Wow, you scared the living daylights out of me. Well, I guess it was a really great prank. Good one, Nana. Anyway, are you really my dead Nana? Of course, John. I have come back to help you on your journey through the medium and beyond. I am delighted to see what a fine young man you've turned out to be, just like your father. Okay, I guess I'll take your word for it. I don't remember you at all. My dad said I was really young when you died. Hey, speaking of which, do you know where he is? I looked everywhere for him. Except the kitchen, apparently. Oh, I see. Your father was kidnapped. Oh no. When you crossed over to the medium, he was apprehended by the very forces of darkness which your presence here has awakened. What? Okay, so what is the medium you're talking about? It is where we are now, a realm that is a ring of pure void, dividing light and darkness. It turns in the thick of the precipice of the insepisphere, okay. A place untouched by the flow of time in your universe. You mean because we're inside a computer, or in the game software or something? A computer? Why, what is that, dear? Some new-fangled contraption like the horseless auto boxcar. Well, it's like this machine that... Of course I know what a computer is, John. I was just pulling your leg. Okay. Old lady trolling grandson. Got it. No, John, you're not inside a computer or software or anything like that. Try not to be so linear, dear. The software that brought you here was merely a mechanism that served as a gateway. Its routines, in a way, served to invoke this realm's instance. Yet it stands independently of any physical machine, and somewhat paradoxically, always has. I'm not sure I get it, but alright. So what do I actually need to be doing here? I think it would be best if we started with the big picture. What is this? Above the medium, beyond the seven gates, residing at the core of the insepisphere, is a place known as Skaya. Legend holds that Skaya exists as a dormant crucible of unlimited creative potential. What does this mean, you ask? I'm afraid my lips are sealed about that, dear. But needless to say, where a realm of such profound importance is concerned, forces of light will forever be charged with its defense. while forces of darkness will just as persistently covet its destruction. Okay. So you've created the afterlife, apparently. And as it so happens, at the center of this realm whose fate is in question, these very forces duel on a stage, stuck in eternal stalemate. Yes, they have dueled in this manner forever. That is, until you showed up. Eh? Me? Yes, you, John. Before your mishap with my ashes, you may recall the sprite's previous incarnation, which resulted from its carnal's hatching. You see, these hatchings occur. This hatching occurs automatically in response to your arrival. The result is a pair of kernels, one dark, one light, each carrying the information they were prototyped with before the hatch. One goes down to a kingdom entrenched in darkness, the other up to a kingdom basked in light. Each comes to rest in an orb atop a spire, of which there are 3 others in kind. The 4 spires are situated above a throne, and these 2 thrones preside over the 2 respective sovereign powers. And once the kernels are situated, that is when the game is afoot. The true war begins. Light versus dark, good versus evil. This is a war that the forces of light are always destined to lose without exception. Oh, a quest of futility, then. Really? Wow, really? Then what's the point? That remains for you to find out, dear. For you see, the journey you are about to take is the ultimate riddle. Ooh. For now, your objective is to proceed toward Skya and pass through the first gate, situated directly above your house. Not even terribly far. The gates will become progressively more difficult to reach, so you had better be prepared to sharpen your adventuring skills. How am I supposed to get up there? You build. Okay, I think I get it now. So I guess the battle against good and evil is sort of irrelevant. Well, I don't know. That all sounds kind of weird, but in any case, we build the house to get to these gates, and then I can save my dad. Yes, John. And then after that, we solve this ultimate riddle thing and save Earth from destruction. Oh, no, I'm afraid not. Your planet is done for, dear. There is nothing you can do about that. Oh. Your purpose is so much more important than saving that silly old planet, though. And that is... Yes, I will have to agree with the floating hag about that. John, you are such a good boy. I know you will succeed. Thanks, Nana. You are a good boy, and good boys deserve treats. Hooray! I'm gonna go bake you some cookies. The hag mentioned cookies. Pursue her! Oh, god damn it! That's just what you need. More baked goods. John, you do not say no to cookies. I commend you to get them. You totally abjure the hell out of that idea. You're so busy abjuring. You don't even notice Rose has been trying to pester you this whole time. Hit John in the head with box to get his attention. You give John a swift drooping in the noggin, but he's undeterred. This is some fit he's throwing. Perhaps you'll take this spare moment to contemplate the Nana Sprite's strange tale. It may also behoove you to record your thoughts on these developments in your GameFAQs walkthrough journal. It can be hard finding time to update it. In fact, you're not even sure where you found the time to write what's already there. Oh, is that so, Jaspers? And just who do you think you're looking at with that smug grin? The last thing you need is sass from a dead cat. It's pretty much all his fault you're in this mess in the first place, so he can just button it. John, cookies, now! You refuse outright. His impudence is insufferable. Go get the cookies! Well, when you put it so politely, how can John decline? John, you're stupid. You really need to work on your manners. Where did the bucket come from? What? That's not a command, it's nothing. It's stupid, you're stupid. For the last time, I command you to get the cookies, boy. Okay. It's just not going to happen, buddy. Years in the future. For the last time! But really, not enough to write home about. An agitated finger slips mid-keystroke. Oopsie daisy. Oh, hello. You got stuffs. Beans. Mustard. Human etiquette. Oh, the worst possible things you could possibly acquire. All right. Okay. The long and short, the medium too. I may have been a bit hasty in advising you not to bother with the prototyping process. If I spared any detail, it was only to optimize your chances of survival. And if you find yourself begrudging the absence of certain instructions, which, if followed, would have resulted in your demise, then I guess that makes two of us. Otherwise, you're welcome. But the fact appears to be that prototyping the kernel sprite before making your getaway may offer the only opportunity to exercise control over your new environment, a place known as the medium. Also, if prototyped with one or two sufficiently, albeit loosely humanoid and or sentient elements, living or otherwise, it offers a chance to have all this explained to you by an apparitional guide through whatever sort of cryptic, sketchy, double-speak your choice of prototyping elements engenders. In lieu of this, you may be forced to settle for my clear, thorough explanations and assiduous dissection of raw data. Again, don't mention it. If you have made it to the medium with no unmolested vanilla sprite, with an unmolested vanilla sprite, okay. Well, I've already covered the bad news about this missed opportunity, and I will go into this further soon, though to what extent this actually is bad news, I'm not sure. I know only the result of my co-player's current configuration, wherein the sprite was prototyped once before the departure and once after. Which brings us to the good news, which is that you can still prototype after your departure and salvage the massively rewarded experience of haggling with an exposition-slinging phantom guide, so long as you avoid prototyping with terribly inert items, such as a brass door knocker and your father's pornography collection. Oh no. Actually, that might be interesting if you're struck by the spirit of such experimentation. Please don't hesitate to contact me about it. So yes, you can enhance your sprite in this way, but doing so after your departure will no longer induce this effect on the medium I alluded to. That can only be accomplished with one or more pre-departure prototypings. In fact, we can extrapolate there are only so many ways to prototype a sprite. Tiers of prototyping in relation to departure. Both before, one after, both after, only one either before or after, none. Okay. Those occurring before will affect the medium through the kernel's hatching process into your guide, i.e. the sprite. Those occurring after will only affect the sprite. The effects this process has on the medium, or more globally, the insepisphere, are still vague to me. They have to do with flavoring the forces you will struggle against, and generally all forces at odds with each other in this realm. It has given me some insight into the nature of the game, which again I derive through extrapolation. We appear to be engaging an instance of a dimension with a highly flexible set parameters, and a series of objectives surrounding an equally inflexible mythological framework. This framework seems to begin as a sort of blank template and evolves with the player's actions, and likely further evolves with the addition of more host-client connections and thus more prototyped kernels. I regret to say I can't be much more specific than that without loosely extrapolating further. There are plenty of questions that have occurred to me, however, questions concerning the kernel sprite, which I've raised implicitly already, such as what is the effect of an unprototyped kernel on the medium, or a double prototyped kernel for that matter. And even more salient are questions about this dimension itself. Do all players worldwide make it to this dimension if they successfully complete their departure? Or is a unique blank instance of the dimension created for each new player? I have no evidence, but instinct tells me it is closer to the latter situation. There is no indication of any other players present in this realm. Alterations in the realm seem singularly centered on the actions of my co-player and myself. If I had to stake anything on it, I would guess every separate client-server pair activates its own fresh copy of an insepisphere, or a unique session, if you will. But the quantity of players is a further complication which invites more questions. It seems the game was designed to suit two players most naturally, the server and the client. But through a mishap, my co-player and I have slipped out of the obvious tandem arrangement, and the only logical course of action to continue playing is to string a daisy chain of server-client connections together, until presumably the chain is complete. Theoretically, we could complete this chain with only one other player, functioning as the server to my client, and the client to my current co-player's server, assuming he can recover it. The strange thing is, though, in our instance of this dimension, there are 4 receptacles for divided kernels, not 3. Does this mean we are destined to have a 4-player chain? How could the game know such a thing? Perhaps it does, and if this proves to be the case, I trust I will be sufficiently numbed to the realization. What does that say? I can consider nothing about this game surprising at this point, and in fact, from the first moment of play, it managed to deviate so far from my expectations that I completely forgot what my original purpose with it was. I had chances to test some information I obtained on good authority during the prototyping phase, but it completely slipped my mind. Instead, the game's catacombs securing the dark, twisting paths of necromancy were blundered into rather on accident, but perhaps you don't need to know any of this. But it completely slipped my mind. Instead, the game's catacombs securing the dark, twisting paths to necromancy. Oh, okay. So she's acknowledging the fact that the game actively brought the dead back to life, and she didn't realize it could. Rethink organization, lead to maybe waist deep, sledge trimmed down. Okay. She's not finished with this yet. Geez, cut her some slack. Maybe you could go bug someone somewhere else for a while, or at the very least, someone else. Mothers in the past, but not many. Oh, months in the past, but not many. Mothers, okay. Ooh, what's this place? Oh, is this her house? In the wintertime? Okay. Interesting. Do I have the time to do this? Yeah, I think I can spare some time for this. Hi, happy birthday, Rose. Hello, and thanks. Did you get John's present yet? I just opened it this very moment. What a stunning coincidence you would ask about it now. I am stunned. Yeah, I know. What will you make with it? And who said it was something from which something else could be made? Well, John did tell me what it was, duh. I suppose I'll take a stab at learning the craft. It's the least I can do in response to the subtle dig concealed in his gesture. He often tells me I need a new hobby when I make perfectly reasonable, analytical remarks. Oh, but Rose, I don't think you meant anything like that by it. You see, not everybody always means the opposite of what they say, the way you and Dave always do. Maybe. His birthday is in a few months, isn't it? Yep. I finally finished a present for him. I've been working on it for years. Years? It's so hard to tell when you're joking, or if you're even capable of it. I just mailed it too, so it's sure to get there on time. Mail takes a while to get anywhere from here. I'll probably craft something with strong sentimental value. That should burn him. I don't think you really mean that. I guess not. So, shall I expect a green package dropped to my house via airmail from wherever screwball cranny of the globe you're tucked into? No. Sorry, but you're sort of hard to shop for. Besides, I have something for you today that I think you'll like better than something in a box. Oh? It's a tip. This is already intriguing enough to compensate for the grave scarcity of lavish gifts parachuting from the sky. Please, go on. Did you have a pet a long time ago that died? Yes. Okay, well, how did you feel about your cat? Did you love him a lot? Okay, well, I didn't mention it as it was a cat, or that it was a male. Let's pretend I'm surprised and you're embarrassed and moved on. To answer your question, I would describe my feelings towards the animal as lukewarm. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, I think. Just, what if someone told you you could play a game that would bring him back to life? If someone told me that, I would regard the remark with a great deal of skepticism. If that someone was you, on the other hand, then I would have to ask preemptively, is that someone you? Yes, that someone is me. I just thought you might find it interesting. So what is this game? Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying is all. I think you'll hear about it later, and maybe you can talk to John and Dave about it. They're way more into all that stuff than I am. I'll see what the word on the street is about it, in due time. For now, I should probably order a copy of Knitting for Assholes. It would be a shame if I ran late with John's present. Dave, get the katana! You capsulog your katana and prepare to venture out into the apartment to retrieve your bro's copy of the game. But first, maybe, just maybe, Dave, retrieve the dead bird. Dude, that bird is long gone. It probably won't last long in this heat anyway. You don't even know what's up with this thick heat. It's on a rooftop. Oh. Oh, you're a lot closer to the devastation than Rose is. Oh, Dave, buddy. You don't even know what's up with this thick heat. The sun threatens to set but won't step off. It's staring you down like the big red eye of a hot needle, and skipping on a groove. It's tracing round the earth. While lingering in midair, its heat seems to suspend time itself, stretching it like wrapped vinyl. It's meant to rain this season, but there ain't been a drop in sight. Even a little drizzle would help. Might help to fizzle this sizzle a little bizzle. Set the record straight on this global turn to tizzle. So don't change the dizzle, turn it up a little. I got a living room full of fine dime brizzle. Okay, wait, what? Waiting on the pizzle, the dizzle, and the shizzle. G's to the Bizic. Now, ladies, here we go. Okay. Okay. Alright. English romantic poet John Keats. Pretty certain he wasn't a poet, but whatever. Exit your room, go into the living room. Sorry, little dude, coming through. Gotta put you down for a bit. I figure you've left him hanging long enough. Is that Slappy with... Okay. Hastily enter the room with wild abandon. Whoa, hello. You barge in and see a familiar face, a friendly face. You stand in the living room. Your bro spends most of his days in here at night. He crashes on the futon over there. You don't see him anywhere, though. There's the puppet chest he stores little Cal in when he takes him out on gigs. But when he's home, he usually leaves Cal on display somewhere. And with good reason, because Cal is totally sweet. So sweet. Man. Pity to fool. It's your brother's Mr. T puppet, which of course is kept in the apartment with a sense of profound humorous irony. But as usual with your bro's exploits, this is no ordinary irony, or anything close to a pedestrian Tier 1 ironic gesture, which is a meager single step removed from sincerity. This is like 10 levels of irony removed from the original joke. It might have been funny like 8 years ago to joke about Mr. T and how he was sort of lame, but that was the very thing that made him awesome and badass, and that his awesomeness was also sort of the joke, but in this case, the joke is the joke, and that degree of irony itself is also the joke, and so on. Only highly adept... Okay, whatever. Your bro can appreciate stuff like this. It's cool taking stuff that other people think is funny, but really isn't, and making it funny again by adding subtle strata of irony which are utterly undetectable to the untrained eye. Also, for good measure, Mr. T is wearing a leather thong and handcuffed to a pantsless Chuck Norris puppet. God, you hope you can be as good as your bro at this someday. You'll never tell him that, though. Fist pumps. Okay. Cal's nowhere in sight. All you see is a bunch of your bro's weird nude puppets strewn about haphazardly. You guess these things are kinda cool. Sort of. Play a game on the Xbox. Looks like your bro was playing. It's not like him to leave in the middle of some totally insane gaming. Not like him to misplace Cal either. Man, you hope the little guy's alright. Oh, there you are, dude. Didn't see you there. We be chill today, Cal. Yeah, you better fucking believe we be chill. Cal is the man. Resist great urge to play the bros. Okay. You fail to resist the urge. You start thrashing up stunts, something uncanny brutal on your quest for Mad Snacks, yo, and get this way rude hunger under control. Shit's basically flying off the hook. It's like shit wants nothing to do with that hook. The hook is dead to that shit. But you get stuck in some poorly modeled 3D fixture or something, like a railing or a piece of the wall. You'll have to reset. Fuck this shit. Give little bro a fist bump. Okay. Ah, man, you almost forgot. Gotta give the seaman some props. Check out the gear. Also, what's with all of the puppets? Like, what the hell? Your bro has so much sweet gear it's hard to keep up with it all sometimes. Here's his computer setup. He's usually got a lot of stuff cooking in here at any given moment. Since he's not around, you might as well sneak a peek. Peep. Look at your brother's computer. Ah, hell no! Your bro's computer is password protected, of course, to protect all the incredible top secret shit he's got on the burners. On the burner? Oh no. Of course you know what the password is, and he knows you know it, and you're both cool with that because the password is the most awesome thing it can be. Oh no, a gray cap hacker? Ah. You enter the password. On the top desk is a hodgepodge of unnamed folders to store all the stuff he's working on. No one can decipher his organization system but him. He also tends to use the application complete bullshit to keep up with the ludicrous amount of websites and news feeds he monitors to stay hip to the scene. Open complete bullshit. This is complete bullshit. Check if Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff has a sweet update. Latest comic! Oh my god. Huh. Alright. That's interesting. Mouse over the orange stripe containing plush rump. Oh, okay, so they were built to be that way, huh? Another one of your bro's many ironic websites. The difference here is he rakes in thousands of dollars a month through this enterprise. Smuppets are a multi-billion-dollar a year enterprise, and it's awfully hard to resist taking a that cash cow? Okay. That's... Stop wasting time and look for Bros Beta. Oh, I see. You guess you've messed around on his computer long enough. Better get a move on before it's too late for Rose. Or worse yet, your bro catches you. But my god, the rumps, they are transfixing. You know this is ironic and all, and your bro reaches echelons of irony you could only dream of daring to fathom. But on rare occasions when your guard is down, it all seems just a tad unsettling to you. Oh, hey. Hey there, Cal. You're sort of starting to flip the fuck out, without losing your cool, of course. Pester John to ease your nerves. You get Egbert on the line again to give him the lowdown on your progress. You feel it's important to keep the wires hot. But he's not answering. You wonder what the guy is up to. Hey, what's up? What happened with the monster that's definitely in your room? Did you kill it? Where are you, man? Anyway, things are cool here, totally cool. Puppets are still awesome. No problems with them or anything. Like, just really, really awesome. Okay. Looks like Rose is finally logged in again. Didn't John say her house was burning down? You wonder if she's on fire yet or what. Okay, pester Rose. Alright, this is the exact same conversation we just had. Seconds in the future, but not many. Okay. John, what are you doing? Snap out of it! We ought to discuss what your grandmother told you, don't you think? Fine, enjoy your stupor. I'll go about my business elsewhere. Deploy the punch. Design X. What? You're doing what now? John, whenever you read this, you should know I put the shale you collected to use and finally deployed the punch Design X. It's in your study. I can only drop it, though. You'll have to be the one to mess around with it and see what it does. When you're finished with your weird histrionics, maybe you could give it a try. I'm updating my walkthrough, and it would help to know what it does. Also, I should probably warn you that your house and yard are completely infested with monsters now. Try to be careful. It's time to do a little EXP grinding. So I can see. Stupid, lousy imps. They're mucking up all my cool stuff. Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm not sure what came over me there. I was acting really crazy for some reason. But my head feels like it's clearing up. I think I'm alright now. John, rebuild the claw hammer and return it to the... Okay. Specibus. Okay. You're getting way better at this sort of thing. Confront Pogo Ride to prepare yourself for Nana. Thank God your sanity has returned so you can entertain extremely rational, coherent thoughts like this one. You examine the Pogo Ride from the bathroom window. You do not like what you see. Sons of bitches. No one. The green slime goes Pogo Ride. No one but you. Oh. I see. Rose, my piano. Sorry. No nuance to these controls at all. I was hoping to bludgeon the imp without letting go of it. Guess I can't really do that. A broken piano isn't the end of the world, though. I guess you're right. You'll need to pick up the spoils in person. I can't interact with the grist. So that means I have to go out the back door. Yes, is there a problem? Well, it may sound dumb, but I was hoping to avoid Nana and her spooky ghost cookies. You're right, that does sound dumb. Can you see her in the kitchen? Yeah. What's she doing? Is she baking? You could say that. Are you sure you can't get that grist up to me somehow? Maybe. Ride to fling grist through the window. Damn. Doesn't look like that grist is going anywhere. You just never know with these gaming abstractions. Drop Pogo right in Jean's bathroom. Get the grist. There you go. Now why don't you check out the Designix? You can do that while I get to work. On what? Level up for slaying the imp. The piano in its valiant effort has unfortunately been slain. But if it hadn't, it would have ranked in so many boon dollars. You have no idea. So many. It's time to build. Why would you do this? We need a way down, not up. Nana said to build, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, okay. But this sure is going to take a lot of grist. Looks like you're going to be busy, John. Blech. Well, what are you building? Stairs. They're fairly expensive, actually. Oh, man. I could have warned you about stairs, Rose. Ha! Okay. I'll try recouping some of the grist from the catwalk I built earlier. It keeps happening. Oh, good. Looks like I can get a refund for earlier allocations. I told you, Rose, I told you about stairs. Okay, consider me fully briefed on the matter of stairs. Now, if you don't mind, it's hard enough to concentrate on this without immersing ourselves in Strider's non-sequitur. Did you know he thinks puppets are cool? Does he? He's so dumb. Rose, use build grist to construct observation tower on the roof. Okay, you obviously don't have enough grist yet for something that ambitious, but you can get started with something of a foundation for upward construction at least. John, check cabinets for imps or useful items. No imps in here, just a lot of shaving cream. Dads love shaving. It's basically all they do when they're not baking, that is. Bring 2 cans of shaving cream. Okay. What did we just spit out? Oh, that was the telescope. You capsulog 2 cans of shaving cream, just in case. You never know when you'll need to bust out a hilarious shaving cream Santa beard to ratchet up your prankster's gambit. Your telescope goes flying out the window. Ride the pogo ride. It's a little cramped in here for any sort of proper reckless pogoing. You'll just grab it and hang on to it until the right moment presents itself. The towel floats back down to the rack. The circle of stupidity is complete. Check up on Nana Quinn, see what's cooking. Oh my god! Make your way to the study. Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. It looks like the imps have taken a shining to the Crookstruder. Crooksite and black goo everywhere. Right, Slimer Poker, and one up that imp. Okay, it's not a Slimer Pogo, but you mount it anyway and brandish your deadly armaments. Oh my! Wow, he's vicious. Okay. This is incredibly dangerous. Flip the fuck out! Let's see how they like the old double barrel lather blaster. Whoops, oh shit. Mr. John, respectfully ask that you please stand up. I respect. Okay. Please stand up. Don't move or the pogo gets it! Now, sir boy, flee from this boorish rabble post-haste. What are you doing? Nice escond, dude. Okay. Oh, okay, that's the narrator, dude. Ooh, the fridge. Refrigerator, level up for slaying the imp. The refrigerator skyrockets up the etch ladder to a new rung. 5-star general. Electric and earns 285 poon dollars. Things are really looking up for this feisty appliance. Well done, John. Polite congratulations. For some reason, you feel a sense of positive reinforcement. Wherever that feeling is coming from, it sure is a welcome change from your erratic moods earlier. Now, my civil fellow, I have a well-mannered query to ask. I blocked the entrance to the study to give you some space to work with the design next. John, imp's behind you. Should I take care of it? You trapped your PDA again, didn't you? Why did you have to pick up all that stupid shaving cream? So pointless. Rose, drop something heavy on one of those imps. John, might I bother you for a can opener? Oblivious to the commotion behind you, suddenly you find yourself pondering the whereabouts of a can opener. You think there is probably one in the kitchen, but the path is blocked by your refrigerator. John's completely unresponsive. What the hell is the nincompoop doing? But let's not get totally carried away here. A studious eye darts around a page like a honeybee, gathering the nectar of wisdom. Okay, so it is you. Alright. Screen captures. I can't take as many as I'd like to for the comprehensive documentation. For what it's worth, here's what I've managed to collect so far. More captures forthcoming. Oh, can I click on all of these? Co-player John assesses environment after transition to medium, followed by Sprite, sans kernel, prototyped once pre-hatch. Completely useless in this form. Okay. Severed from suburban grid, house remains mysteriously powered. Convenience presumably facilitated by game, which perhaps deems navigating a powerless house to be a handicap, less in keeping with spirit of game's principal statement of challenge. Internet connection remains stable as well, will likely remain stable until the internet itself is compromised by some external threat, something like, oh, let's say hackers. Kill monsters, get grist, build onto the house. That's the game. Didn't know what the point of this was at the time. Floundering trial and error on exhibition. On exhibit, okay. Unsuccessful attempt at Tier 2 prototyping. Knowing what I know now, I might have avoided using a backbreaking Vaidmekarum for practical jokesters rife with anticipated lexicon and racist aphorisms. Either that, or I might have tried harder to succeed. Final screen capture before I lost my internet signal for a time. I don't know what happened thereafter, but when I returned, the car was nowhere to be found, and the driveway plateau was in a state of disrepair. The mysteries, will they ever cease? Sprite prototyped once more with grandmother's remains. She treats John to some helpful exposition in a friendly and maternal maternal manner. Co-player has displayed inexplicably capricious behavior since arrival, stress-related, contracted virus indigenous to realm. It should be noted he was kind of a weird guy anyway. Designix deployed, still no clue what this does, at mercy of co-players' foolish prioritization tendencies. Grist payload from slain foe. Either I deal the damage or co-player does. Yield is same, though I have a significant advantage in battle, taking measures into my own hands deprives John of hand-to-hand combat experience, which ostensibly will become more critical later. Building, the point. Building upward, the point sharpened and directed. Okay. Ah, steeds, what steeds? Has the whirlwind a home in your manes? Is there a sensitive ear, alert as a flame in your every fiber? Hearing the familiar song from above, all in one accord, you strain your bronze chests and hooves barely touching the ground, turn into straight lines, cleaving the air, and all inspired by God, it rushes on. Okay, this isn't time for poetry. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck he's doing here. Another one of these things. Really, Egbert family. Really? A view of his kidnapped father's room. I can't see in here for some reason. Perhaps this is because John himself has never entered the room. It is possible that I can see only, in a sense, what John can see, or has seen already. I have not found the time to discuss this with him yet. If he enters the room, the question may answer itself. Construct loft above John's room. Okay. What are you doing? Okay. Pretty sensible so far. You're just level designing at this point. Ladders seem to be a bit cheaper than stairs. Fellow John, it appears we have reached an impasse. Yes, it seems so. The opener dilemma remains unsettled, most unfortunately. It is unfortunate, I guess. What are we talking about again? But it has been a pleasure nonetheless. Thanks for the courtesy. It's not really necessary, but thanks anyway. Oh, but thank you. John, will you please stop rambling with the voices in your head? You small primate. I shall take my leave now, John. Until next time. Wait, where did all of this sweet loot come from? And why is there suddenly a crumpled hat on your head? Gather grist, examine Designix. Feeling especially economical with your behavior suddenly, you scoop up all the grist in the room and turn your attention to the punch Designix all in one fell swoop. The device features a countertop station design with a keyboard setup. Not unlike an old-fashioned computer, there is a blinking red light and a diagram etched into a panel. Answer Dave. Okay. Okay, wait. Hold on. Why am I getting this stupid game for you? You're the one who should be wrist deep in puppet ass. What is the specific problem? The problem is I am up to my goddamn neck in fucking puppet dung. You know you like the mannequin. Except I am enrobed in chafing, wrinkling, god fucking tan puppet pelvis. An obscenely long course. Kermit. What the hell? Let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet prostate because you love it. Also, course is a good word. You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that I've burrowed into lively, fluffy puppet buttocks. What the hell is going on here? I'm swirling in the terrible cyclone at the epicenter. I'm really glad I didn't stop this here. If I had to start next episode with this, that would have been bad. Okay. Let's just check real quick. Alright, yeah, it's still recording. Twixt a cleft of foam. Oh. Of apocalypse your thoughts eclipse, a painted jar of parted lips that dare through kiss to stir the air that teases tufts of orange hair. And though faces flush in lovers' fits, hands snug and plush as close. Okay, Dickinson, if you can shut your perfumey trap for a half second. This is serious. I am just saying, if I see one more soft bulbous bottom being, like, kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, I'm gonna fly off the handle. I'm gonna do some sort of acrobatic pirouette off the handle and win, like, a medal or some shit. Let's hope there will be a squishy somewhere below. Okay. Back of the first visible. Okay. John, observe back of the first visible captcha card. Oh, that's trippy. You flip over the top card containing your pogo ride. Anytime you captcha something, a new code appears on the back of the card. You've always wondered what the code was for. Damn, these things are hard to read, but then you've never really found any reason to decipher them. Until now, perhaps? Examine reverse side of the hammer card in the strife specifice. Looks like cards from your strife deck have codes too. Enter captcha code as seen on back of the pogo card. You enter the code into the keyboard. At least you think that's what the code is. The red light switches off, a green light begins blinking. Insert the card. Okay. In the interest of due diligence, you enter the other code and repeat the process with that card too. Both cards are now punched with different hole patterns. Attempt to retrieve Pogo from the card. Oh, well, that should just be a simple matter of... Uh-oh. It looks like it's trapped now. You don't see how you can access the item anymore. Or store a new item there, for that matter. These cards are pretty much useless now, and the items they contain are toast. But maybe all is not lost. Recalling from your experience with the pre-punched card, you may be able to use the cards to replicate the items in question, assuming you got the codes right, that is. Mash keys heedlessly. Not quite through with your cowboy empiricism just yet. You mash the keyboard to generate a random code. You enter... Okay, stops you after 8 characters, which appears to be the maximum length for a code. The green light goes on, signaling its readiness for a card. You figure you might as well burn the shaving cream, since the product is not exactly at a premium in your household. You also figure you might as well merge the 2 cans onto one card. You're a little sad that your dad isn't around for this. You have a feeling he would get a real kick out of the idea of duplicating more shaving cream. You punch the card with a pattern that is in no way related to the code for the item it contains. This should make for an interesting experiment. Mad science is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, you just burned another card in the process. Your deck is really dwindling now. Maybe you should have thought this through a little better. On the plus side, you just freed up your PDA, which is overflowing with the pent-up chatter of anxious pesterers. Oh. Okay. What caused that? John, answer your chums. Puppets! Awesome! That's really all there is to say on the matter. Changed his mood. John, I'm about to throw a bathtub through your wall. Watch out. Wow, that is totally unnecessary. I made a shortcut upstairs. I thought it would be a good idea to get up there and try the cards as soon as possible. Also, you weren't being terribly responsive. You mean these stairs? Man, look at these shitty stairs. They're so narrow. I'm supposed to climb those? They're perfectly navigable. I'm saving on grist for now. If you keep slaying foes, collecting grist, and expanding the catch limit, we may not need to be so economical with our resources in the future. So why didn't you just build a way up through that hole into my dad's room? Have you ever been in there? No. Exactly. Huh? I'd rather not get sidetracked. I'm more interested in further exploring the mechanics of the game than watching you discover what sort of outlandish Harley Quinn decor your father keeps in his room. Oh, come on, what's the big deal? It'll just climb up and go right through. Will you? Yeah, why not? Are you saying you've never wondered what's in there? Or why it's been kept a secret from you? Well, I mean, yeah. Then trust me, you won't be going right on through. Wait, are you saying there's something, like, troubling in there? I don't know. What do you mean? What do you see in there? I can't see in there. Oh. But I don't have a very good feeling about it. Whatever. I think I can handle a few more stupid clown paintings. Move punched cards to John's room. Drag some Crooksite dowels up to John's room. Okay. Collect grist, examine safe. You sweep up the bountiful supply of grist generated by your co-player's recent exploits. From now on, It will probably go without saying that you'll nab any grist lying around without making a big fuss over it. You check out the busted safe, which has made a noble sacrifice in battle. Some of your father's odds and ends have spilled out, including some old newspaper clippings and 2 rather hefty tomes. It's a fair bet that these books comprised at least half the weight of the safe. Examine Family Tome of Humor. It's another copy of Colonel Sassacre's daunting text of magical frivolity and practical japery. This one looks really old, perhaps an original printing. Could it be the same one involved with your grandmother's unfortunate accident on that fateful day? Dad would never speak a word about it, but maybe Nana wouldn't be so tight-lipped. You give it a cursory perusal. It appears to be similar to your reprinting, listing all the japes and chicanery you can come to know and love. You captchalogue it, thinking you may give it a closer look later. Examine contents of safe. The Fatherly Gent's Shaving Almanac. You take a look at the other book. You're sure Dad thought this was a scintillating read, but it looks pretty boring to you. Maybe you'll crack into it someday when you're old enough to shave. Everything in this safe was obviously very important to your father. You wonder why he kept it locked away from you. Some things about him you will never understand. Wait a minute. It seems he's been collecting scraps from the news over the years. These articles go back decades. Son, if you're reading this, it means you're now strong enough to lift the safe. You are now a man. As such, you are entitled to what is inside. I know you will take this responsibility seriously. I am so proud of you. Turn the card over. Oh. I guess this is the combination to the safe. This is completely useless. Examine back of captchalogue card on the floor. You guess these are all zeros. Or are they capital O's? Zeros would probably make more sense for an empty card, you think. Captchalogue the card. Enter code on back of card into... Okay. Into Dysonex. Wait, John, before you punch that... Oh, I was about to say, if you first took note of the code, then removed the card from the card, you could have punched the blank one. You would have only burned 1 card instead of 2. Oh, yeah, you're right. Damn it. Throw hat down in disgust. Captchalogue punched captchalogue card. Ha! Nice catch. What? Take PDA. The 2-card Siladex. Inventory of dumbasses. Level up. Okay. For slaying the imp. Okay. Oh, the colonel soars to new heights on his etch ladder, reaching the rung 1-man vacuum in pockets. Okay. Slaying the imp. The bathtub surges heroically and surpasses the rung. Okay. He's unaffected. The safe was slain in battle. A great flaming nautical pyre carries it off to Voltala. Make your way up those stairs post-haste. Okay. You're not sure. They look pretty precarious to you, but you've been assured the stairs are perfectly navigable. Lad scramble! Lousy goddamn stupid stairs. You fell behind them. Ignore little Cal and find the beta. Okay. Alright. So, I'm leaving this video off here. We ran into quite a few interesting things. So, according to the new Granny Jester sprite, Earth is irrecoverably fucked. Like, it cannot be saved no matter what. So I'm wondering how exactly this comic is supposed to end. Like, will they ever be able to know any form of peace with a home ever again? Also, I couldn't help but notice the whole premise of the Spurb beta constantly going up. It kind of resembles the building of the Tower of Babel, which is a little concerning if I'm being honest. And then there's Jade, that suspicious girl. We haven't really gotten a chance to see her in person yet in the comic. I only know her name's Jade because of the animation. I was so suspicious of her in the animation because it seemed like she already knew what was going to happen. And now we find out that months prior to all of this madness, Jade told Rose about the game before it was even announced. The Spurb beta. So, Jade is in on something. I don't know if her family developed the game. I don't know if she was part of the development team for the game. I don't know jack about Jade's connection to the game, but she knew. And that is deeply concerning. I already was suspicious of her because I saw in the merch store those whiteboards with the captcha cards. Jade's captcha card is different from everyone else's. Like, it doesn't look like John's, it doesn't look like Rose's, it doesn't look like Dave's, it doesn't look like the dad's, if the captcha card's in the animation or anything to go off of. She's using something for her captcha log that I don't think anybody else has access to, which was very disturbing. And then there is Dave's brother's unexpected Muppet kink. I don't know what to say about that. And John going feral with his pogo ride. It would have been more badass if he'd stopped falling on his ass. You get what I mean? Make this boy a little more competent, why don't you? And it didn't help that the narrator was, like, in his face half the time, actively distracting him while he was in a dangerous environment. That sucked. So, yeah. That all happened. So I'm ending the video off here. If you like this sort of stuff, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe today to keep up to date with all my latest uploads. And if you didn't, that's perfectly fine too. There's plenty of other stuff on the channel to watch. Later, everybody. Bye.